Good morning, folks, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Jake Break. Coming to you live here. Trent and I are back for another week of craziness, debating, and figuring out what's going on and chatting about the world out there. So, welcome everybody once again to episode 3 of the Jake Break. So, we'll get right into it here. As you know, U.S. Open week was just this past, not from when this is aired, it wasn't, this past weekend. This is the Travelers Championship weekend, but the weekend before. And just going to get some quick discussion on that, some hot takes. I guess, Trent, what was your takeaway after watching that wild finish and just that awesome tournament test of golf at Oakmont there?
I was a big fan of the tournament. A lot of people were, saying they didn't like it with how thick the rough was and that the winning score was 1 under par. Personally, I was a big fan of it because a major like the U.S. Open, I would rather see the winning score be 2 over par than be 22 under par.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of it. It shows. But they could play that tournament over again next weekend, and J.J. Spawn could have not even made the cut. So it's who's physically and mentally there those 4 days of golf. So I was kind of shocked. Scotty, if his putter was there, man, he could have, because they were on Sunday, he had that 3-footer that he pretty much went up to tap in and he missed it.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't look like he was completely focused. Rory, his mentality was, I don't know, just kind of off. I don't know if he's checked out after he finished his Grand Slam, but from some of his interviews where he said it's easier for him to play well when he doesn't care if he's there for the weekend.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, because didn't he say at one point something about, I wouldn't be really that upset, or not word for word, but he said something about, I really wouldn't be upset if I came back here and didn't play the rest of the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, because that's what they said about, because he made the cut just by, 1 stroke, because he finished birdie, I believe, on Friday to make the cut, and a reporter asked him how he, pulled that out of the bag, and he said, it's a lot easier for him to play well when he could care less if he's there for the weekend. So he essentially said, he didn't really want to come back and play on the weekend, but it just kind of happened. So other than that, McIntyre kind of surprised me at the end. I think he surprised himself because he was sitting, 7th, 8th, 9th, something like that, and he came in the clubhouse and he was like, I may be playing in a playoff tomorrow morning to win the U.S. Open. So I think that was cool to see.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that Robbie McIntyre, he gained another fan over the weekend. Did you see that, him, in the scorer's room?
Yep.
After J.J. Spawn made that mile-long putt, and he was, sitting there wow, and clapping and cheering for him. That's pretty stinking cool there, if you ask me. Sure, he would have loved to have been in the playoffs, but just supporting a guy, he gained a lot of fans, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, and even Terrell Hatton, he was doing an interview when he made that putt at the end, and he even said, holy cow, he hold it. Yeah. I was kind of getting a fan of him when him and Ortiz were playing last round. Him on those long par threes, Hatton was stuffing them within 10 feet. Just incredible. But then when he had a little temper tantrum when he was on the downslope of that bunker, and he started swinging the club and that kind of stuff. I know, don't get me wrong. When I make a bad shot, I'm not the happiest camper. Neither are you. Neither are most of golfers. But Rory breaking the tee marker and other stuff like that, it kind of frustrates me seeing that,
Yeah, yeah. Or how about Wyndham Clark just destroying the locker room? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and then I told you this, but I'll let the listeners know this. I swear on Instagram, whatever it is, I always fall for them spam accounts or scam accounts. I don't get tricked into that kind of stuff. But I saw something that Wyndham Clark got completely. What was the wording there? Completely.
Banned.
Not expelled, but banned. Yeah, completely banned from Oakmont. And I sent it to you. I was like, oh my gosh, Trent, this guy, he tore up the locker room and he's completely banned from Oakmont. Like, what if they go back there in the future? Like, is he going to be able to play there? And then I realized it was one of them scam accounts or spam accounts or spoof accounts or whatever. So, yeah, I got to be careful about that a little bit. But overall, I agree with you. I mean, I think U.S. Open, true test of golf there. I mean, if you or I went out there, I mean, we'd be lucky to shoot 100. And I feel like we're pretty good golfers.
Yeah,
and,
I would.
It's
I
great.
think I would have been, Sunday with that rain, 140 in play easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if it was perfect conditions, if I could shoot 110, 115, I wouldn't be upset with that. Because, I mean, you saw some of those guys, they're in the rough, and they're looking to just punch it and get it to roll up the fairway, and they pull it 60 yards left with a snap hook. That rough just grabs your hosel and slings that club around.
Oh, and even like you were saying there with Hatton, in the downslope, not quite in a bunker, but like in the downslope of it, like there's no shot of getting it on the green, and if you do, it's gone again. So I saw somebody, I forget who it was, you might remember, they were like in the rough on another downslope, and they just played it in the bunker because they were like, all right, well, heck with it. I'm just putting it in the bunker. I'm going to have a better shot from the bunker than I'm trying to get it on the green from here.
Which, I didn't realize, I think Terrell Hatton there, instead of having a bunker shot, having to get it up over that lip, if I were him, I would have turned around backwards and played it backwards into the fairway, you know? Because then you have a clean lie, you're going to get spin, rather than, possibly hitting it into the bunker or even the upslope in that rough and having a terrible shot. But, yeah, I mean, it was tough to watch, but it was also, I mean, the last stretch of pretty much after they resumed play, J.J. Spawn just came out of his shell. He started, with 5 5s?
Oh, yeah.
Started the day.
Yeah.
I mean, just how that rain, he said that rain delay just kind of mentally reset him, and then he was pretty much lights out. And when he hit the flagstick and it came 50 yards back, oh.
Well, that's on the front nine. The guy couldn't catch a break. I mean, literally the flagstick, the rake. Yeah. I mean, just bad lies and tough luck. I mean, I was happy for him. Seems like a nice guy, heck of a nice guy, and felt bad for him on the front there. I mean, he just couldn't catch a break. So.
And I think on Thursdays they interviewed him after the round, or maybe it was earlier in the week, and he said he was excited to play at Oakmont because he likes being uncomfortable. And I think that's a big mental thing, because people going in there hating being uncomfortable, like being in a place like Oakmont. But he said he loves feeling uncomfortable, which you saw how that played out for him at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he said he didn't even look at the scoreboard when he walked up to the final hole.
Oh, really?
I just watched an interview today. When he walked up to the final hole, he could tell by the crowd's reaction that all he needed was 2 putts, but he said he didn't look at the scoreboard. He said he didn't want to know if he could have 3-putted and won. He thought it was 2, but he didn't want to look to make sure, because he didn't want to possibly, force himself to lag it up there and then whatever. But yeah, that when that putt dropped, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. That was pretty stinking wild, but entertaining nonetheless. I'm very excited for another Oakmont U.S. Open. Next time that they have it there, we're definitely going.
Yeah. Because a 64-foot, I think it was 64 feet. Nothing like on Sunday, Championship Sunday, 18th hole, 64.
Rain?
Yeah.
That incredible. Wild. Absolutely wild. But you were talking about that bunker shot, like backwards bunker shot. One guy that can pull that off is Phil Mickelson, one of my favorite golfers. He's got those viral clips of him like flipping backwards off the bunker and onto the green. And for those of you that didn't listen on the last episode, Phil is a co-owner of a fantastic wellness company. If you didn't get a chance to listen to episode 2, I highly encourage you to do it. It's the only way that I can drink coffee is to use the good stuff by For Wellness. We have thanks to our friends at For Wellness, we have a code here. If you use code Jacob80005, that's Jacob80005, 3 zeros, you will get 25% off your first order. So if you like good high quality coffee, if you like an additive to your coffee that won't make you all shaky and jittery and goofy like me, or they have some other wellness products on there, for recovery, hydration, and a new product for vision if you're looking at computer screens like I do all day long, especially help with that. So 25% off your first order if you use Jacob 80005. So, but Phil, he could pull off that trick shot, but I'm not sure at Oakmont. I saw him. Unfortunately, he was close, but didn't quite make the cut. But I'm hopeful that that next year he can do it. So,
yeah, I saw a clip of him on. It was just a few weeks ago. I think I sent it to you at one of the live events.
Holding out from the edge of the bunker.
He did the backward shot.
Yeah.
He was faced the wrong direction, and he hit a high backwards flop shot, and it went in the hole.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. If I tried that, I would skull it into a parking lot, most likely.
The guy's a legend. I'm telling you. Some people, you love him or you hate him, but I'm definitely a lover of him. So.
Is there one person at the Open that you were surprised with how they finished, whether it be surprisingly well or surprisingly bad?
I tell you, I was a fan, and I've always been a fan of his, and I was kind of rooting for him, is Adam Scott.
Yep.
He was a lot of fun to watch this weekend. He was just kind of steady, slow and steady, just taking it as it came. I was a little disappointed how he finished. Tough course, tough track. I'm sure he, maybe felt a little bit of the pressure coming down the line. That break might have impacted him a little bit. But, I'm happy for J.J. Spawn. It would have been nice to see Sam Burns even potentially win it. But I was, U.S. Open, you hope an American wins it. But I was kind of rooting for Adam Scott coming down the line there. So I didn't realize it, but he had some crazy, what was it, his 40... Oh, I forget what it was. I saw some crazy stat. Let me look this up here quick. It was something about how many consecutive U.S. Open starts that he's made now.
I did see that, but I forget what the actual stat line was.
Yeah, so it was his 96th consecutive major tournament start. 24th consecutive U.S. Open. Longest active streak among players. That's actually insane. 96 consecutive major starts. And he's played in the last 24 U.S. Opens now.
That is, it's something for someone to come around and play in a couple. But when you've been around that long and you've had that many starts, it's incredible to be playing that well of golf for that long. Because I think he was turning 45 in a month or so. Something
like that. Yeah, he's mid-40s, I think.
Yeah.
But I was cheering for him. It was fun to watch him play good, and he's had a pretty solid season. And like you said, he's just always been pretty solid and steady. But
yeah, I think I was really rooting for Victor Hovland. I know he's not a U.S. guy, but I think he's kind of making the arc like Bryson DeChambeau is, where at first everyone wasn't the biggest fan because, they were crybabies. They complained about this, complained about that. But Victor has really changed his sort of mentality. And the way he can strike a ball when he was, 215 yards out in a bunker, fairway bunker, and he hits it to, 5 feet. And I just saw a video today, actually, that he doesn't... When you ask him about stock yardages, say for a 5-iron, he doesn't talk yards. He talks spin. He talks about RPMs of spin. And I don't know if you've heard him. If they had the microphone near him when he was hitting an iron shot on the course, he would hit a shot, and you'd hear him yell, "No, no, no," or slow down, slow down. He was not talking about distance. He's talking about how much spin that he had on the ball. Just from contact, he knows how many, what RPM his shot was. So he knows if it's going to rip back too far, if it's going to, fly and sit up in the air. But I thought that was a pretty cool perspective that, you and I think yardages, which most people do, but some of these professionals, their yardages are based off their spin, which is, insane to think about.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade when it comes to golf, but you're right. I mean, that is kind of wild. I just saw that video. You might have even sent it to me, actually.
Yeah, I might have.
I was like, that's actually kind of wild. But I don't know. We'll see. Should be Yeah, I'm excited for the next U.S. Open. We'll see. But I don't know. Travelers this weekend should be pretty good. That's usually got a pretty solid field. I saw some of the tee times and looks like some good pairings, and should be shaping up for some good golf. But outside of the golf world, Trent, why don't we tell a little bit about tell the folks here what else do we like to do outside of golf? I know the first couple episodes here we talked a lot about golf and some traveling, some different stuff, but obviously we do some other stuff outside of golf. So, like, what else do you enjoy doing?
Yeah, so golf, of course, is definitely on the list of one of my hobbies, and you're probably going to see that Jake and I have very similar hobbies. That's probably why we get along so well. But one of my big ones is fishing. One of my favorite types of fishing would be fly fishing or surf fishing at the beach. Along with fly fishing, I like tying my own flies. So I'll sit down for a couple hours and hand tie all of my flies. I just buy all the supplies and thread and everything I need. And it makes it a little bit more satisfying when you hook a fish on a fly that you made. It's kind of a cool feeling. Second would be hunting, which everything with hunting, whether it's shooting guns, shooting bow, shooting clay pigeons, target practice, scouting, hanging tree stands, trail cameras, whatever it may be, I'm there. Along with that, hiking, a lot of the scouting for deer season comes a lot of hiking, which I thoroughly enjoy, especially taking the dog out like we did here this past winter. She absolutely loved it. And then lastly, DIY projects, whether it's replacing cast iron drains in my house or redoing drywall, installing flooring, hanging ceiling fans, those kind of projects I like. It's hard work, but once you get done and you see what you were capable of, it's pretty cool. And then you realize how much money you saved by doing it yourself and not paying someone else to do it. Because a lot of the work that we did at our house here, I got a few quotes just to see what it would have costed to have someone else do it. Man, it's insane how much money you can save by doing it yourself. And a lot of stuff you guys may think, oh, I'm going to pay someone to hang an interior door for me. Look it up on YouTube. Watch 2 videos, you'll be a professional. I promise you that. You can do it and it's going to look good.
Yeah, and it's like so satisfying, right? Like whenever you see something, a couple years down the road where you're like, hey, I did that, or like somebody comes over to your place and checks it out. It's like, oh, how'd you do that? Like, for example, like you guys' cabinets, and especially like the bathroom there, like all the work you guys did there. It's probably a pretty cool feeling looking at it at night or whatever, walking past, be like, yeah, we kind of did that, put that together.
Yeah, I go through my, I'll get like memories on my phone of pictures of what our house looked like when we first bought it. And our bathroom was in a typical 1950s pink and blue and teal color. And we closed on the house at like 5 p.m. and the bathroom was down to the studs by 10 p.m. So we tore into it right away. But, it's definitely a satisfying feeling. The amount of work we did, and we didn't finish until, probably August, September, right before the wedding. Like, when we finally got to just sit down, in our living room and just kind of enjoy it, it made it so worth it because we were just go, go to work and then spend from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. every single night during the week, and then, 12, 14 hours a day on the weekends. It's a lot of time, but it's definitely rewarding, that's for sure.
Yeah. So it sounds like if anybody's doing any DIY projects out there or needs some help, they need to send us a DM and get you to be the general contractor or the go-to guy.
I'll help you out. I'll give you every bit of knowledge I have, which may not be a lot, but it's more than I had when I started this. And I mean, I was pretty handy coming from, growing up on a farm. Wasn't a professional at, anything, but I knew a bunch of different things, so I could apply it. But, yeah, drywall, I know if I could pick one thing that I wouldn't do, would be drywall.
That stuff's awful.
It's not bad putting it on, but you got to do really thin coats. But the worst part is sanding it. You think that you tape off the room, but you'll find drywall dust in every corner of the house. It is. You come out and you're like, even have your respirator on, you just look like you came out of the trenches, and it's not a good time. But looks really good when you do a good job.
You know, recently I've been watching on Netflix. They have the show Home Improvement on there, and I love that. Like, I never watched it much when I was younger, because obviously I was pretty young when that came out, and I love that. Like, who knows? Maybe down the road we'll have to upload some videos of Jake Break Home Improvement videos.
Yeah, and I have to replace. I got to replace the front and side door at my house. So
there we go.
Maybe we'll take a few snapshots of that and do a time lapse of us replacing the front door.
Yeah, I love it. A little content for the people, useful content for the people.
Exactly. Oh, and one of the last things that I enjoy would be having like a vegetable garden.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was never really like, I'm not a big vegetable eater. I'm not like, oh my goodness, give me a tomato. Not my kind of thing, but my wife loves them. So we planted a whole bunch of different stuff this year just in like our flower bed around our house, and we got, pumpkin and cantaloupe, cucumbers, strawberries, zucchini, peppers, tomatoes. But like our zucchini plant, I'm not kidding you when I say it's like 6 foot by 6 foot. It is massive. Like it's taking over my blueberry bush, which I'm not happy about. But I would say, just starting a seedling that's an inch tall, and within a month it is giant. It's pretty cool.
So like all the plants pretty successful. Like anything that's maybe not looking so hot.
Well, we had 2 snap pea plants. They were producing great. We were getting giant snap peas off every day. And then starting about like 2 weeks ago, they started getting brown from the bottom up. And I've read online that they got root rot. And I was apparently watering them too often. Dang. So you're supposed to only water vegetables like 1 to 2 inches per week. And I was going out every evening and just giving all my vegetables like just a nice little dousing,
Yeah.
Some water. But apparently that's not good. So I drowned my snap pea plants. So they're both toast. But other than that, everything's thriving.
Good. See, I love doing that stuff too, but I'm struggling right now. Like, all my plants look good, or all of our plants look good, except for my watermelon plant. It's like yellowish leaves and all that stuff, so I don't know, it's not looking so hot. And I know some people that listen to the show here are like plant experts, so hopefully they can give us some feedback on how to best handle that.
So I had 2 watermelon plants as well, and they both died. So we're kind of in the same boat there, but what I found out, they hate nights that get below like 70 degrees. So I planted mine like 4 weeks ago, and there were a couple nights where it got down into the upper 40s.
Yeah.
And if it gets too cold, it stunts the growth, and they just die. Really? So yeah, I'm gonna wait to buy 2 more, probably in like 2 weeks or so. Whenever it's like consistently 85-ish during the day, it doesn't get much below like 65 at night, and then they should take off. Because like my pumpkin, it's massive. Like it already has like 12 blossoms on it, and it's the size of probably 3 5-gallon buckets.
Jeez. And
that was just a little seedling, probably 4 weeks ago. But wow. That's something I enjoy.
So did your like watermelon plant get like yellow like I'm describing too, and just
a little bit? It was only probably 3-4 inches tall.
Yeah.
And it kind of just stopped growing, and it got real wilty. Like the leaves didn't grow, it didn't grow in height, and the leaves just wilted, and it looked very sad, and it just didn't make it. And then I had my stumps ground, like I showed you, and I had a stump nearby where both the watermelon plants were, and I was like, I don't want this guy to have to like work around them, so I just took them out, and I just grabbed it, and they pulled right up out of the ground. There was no roots on the actual stem. They were toast.
Dang. Well, the people that are listening that are sort of plant experts, hopefully they can shoot us a message with some feedback, because mine's struggling right now. it's a struggle. So hopefully we can get some good watermelon plants this year. But that would make sense. I mean, I feel like, I've always heard of them growing like down south and stuff, doing pretty good. So, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like hobbies, like you said, Trent, mine are pretty similar. Golf and hunting and fishing, of course. Some DIY projects. Big sports guy. So people are gonna, roast me for this, but I'm we live in PA. I am a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So that's my favorite hockey team. I love the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan for NFL. And then last but not least, I'm a humongous Red Sox fan. So with the whole controversy with the trade right now with the Red Sox, I don't want to get into it too deep, but diehard Red Sox fan. So I'm in the midst of a baseball season right now, along with watching golf. But also like hiking, and then I do some volunteering with the local Boy Scouts as well. And I guess that's kind of where the hiking and the outdoor stuff kind of came from. So, but yeah, it's kind of how I spend my free time there. And I do enjoy kind of the gardening a little bit, like you described there. Getting my feet wet a little bit with it from high school, and then in college we did some as well. But yeah, it's a good time whenever you get to grow your own stuff.
If you could choose a Red Sox World Series this year or a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl this year,
oh,
you got to pick one.
That is so tough, dude. Like,
there's one correct answer here. There's one.
I've experienced a couple Red Sox World Series in my lifetime. I have not experienced the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl in my lifetime, so I feel like that's got to be the pick. That's got to be the pick. I know it. Yep. You either love them or you hate them with a burning passion, like Stephen A. Smith does, which he drives me nuts on First Take or whatever. Whenever he's trashing the Cowboys, so part of me would like to see the Cowboys win just for him, but also selfishly for me because. We've never seen the Cowboys win. Oh my gosh, I forgot you're a stinking Yankees fan.
That's right, baby.
Guess what? We just swept y'all.
Hey, let's just say I've never been like a big baseball fan. Like if you ask me the record, I have no idea. I was more of a Derek Jeter fan back in the day.
That's respectable.
So if someone asks me if if I have a team in baseball, I'm not gonna say I don't have a fan. Like I don't have a team. I'm more of a player watcher. I like watching and following certain players. But yeah, no, I grew up loving Derek Jeter, so I have a whole bunch of, Yankees memorabilia and cards and stuff. I just thought I had to bring that out.
I can respect Jeter. Now, if you would have said A-Rod, we would have just shut the podcast off right there. I am not an A-Rod fan at all.
Nope. I was a big Brett Gardner, CC Sabathia, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano when he was on the Yankees.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, no, that was back. I don't know when how old I was. Probably between. I remember I was watching the live broadcast of when Jeter hit the home run at the Orioles Stadium for, I forget what hit it was. It was electric.
Mm-hmm.
It was a milestone hit in his career, and it was a home run at the Orioles Stadium, which is pretty cool.
Well, and that was pretty cool. And then you had probably one of the best closers in baseball of all time, Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, as much as I'm a diehard Red Sox fan, Rivera is probably one of the best closers of all time. And then his entrance was just electric. Like when they'd play Enter Sandman and he just comes running out. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. That's why baseball is and always will be one of the best sports out there.
Yep.
But yeah, to answer your question though, if I had to pick this year, I'm feeling Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl would be more satisfying in my book. And we've done some stuff in the offseason and in the draft, so I'm not saying it's our year, but it could very well be our year. We'll see. We got plenty of time.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. Looking at the things we like to do, there's a lot of stuff out there that we're probably not putting on this list. Like, I don't know. You and I even got into bow fishing a little bit there. That's a good time. I guess that maybe falls into the fishing category there. But another thing I like doing in my spare time is making Spotify playlists. So if you need a specific playlist for an occasion, I'm your guy. I had a couple friends reach out to me about certain occasions they had coming up, and I was like, "Hey, I'll make you a playlist." So maybe another time I should have been a DJ or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if Jake started his playlist right now, and then after that playlist ended, it would just go to his next one, he probably would have enough music to last the rest of his lifetime. He's got enough. But yeah, I think that Jeter hit I was talking about, I think it was like it might have been at the Yankee Stadium. It was just, I think, 3,000th hit of his career.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember.
And
I
think it was a home run at Yankee Stadium. I think it was at a soccer tournament when I was watching that live.
Yeah, I think I remember that now because like it was like didn't they stop the game? Not stop the game, but they kind of like stopped the game about half or had something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect him. He's a solid player, class act.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. But,
and I think I got my love for Derek Jeter from when I played baseball. Shortstop was one of my favorite positions to play. So it was one of those. It was one of those things where you play shortstop and you're like, oh, what professional player plays shortstop? And took a liking to him, and the Yankees kind of just came with that.
Well, and too, like you're watching him, like one of his signature moves was, he catches one deep infield, shallow outfield, and then he does like that running throw.
He does the backhand, the running backhand, the ground ball. And I know you always try that as a kid, and you just like huck it as hard as you can. It's just like this floater, but he can shoot it in there like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Yeah, I mean, everyone that played shortstop growing up, like, they always tried that, whether you were a Yankees fan or not. It was like the Happy Gilmore swing growing up. Exactly. Like, everyone had to try it at least once. Yeah. And that's what I think, like, before, when I got into liking Jeter, that was before I realized, like, the Yankees hate because of all the success they had. So that was like my love for Jeter was before like I kind of got into sports more, knowing about a lot of people become Yankees fans because they're just a bandwagon. They wanted to be supportive of a team that won a lot. So, but yeah, I'm more of same thing with NFL. I'm more of a player watcher than a team fan. Yeah. Oh no, I'm pretty diehard Dallas Cowboys, but I do like some other players out there that are fun to watch. Yeah, no. When I have a Cowboys guy, I like watching the Cowboys games if they're on, because Jake and I'll text during it, and I know I'll get this past season there was a lot of messages that between him and I that he said he was about to shut the TV off in the second quarter and go to bed, especially on those 8:20 games. That's just brutal. Stay up for them. Awful. They're awful. Like that's one thing. So, diehard Cowboys fan, I'll never turn off a game. But last season was a tough watch. Like in some games in the second half of the season. And it seemed like every week we had one of those either Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football games. And we're getting obliterated in the third quarter. I'm like, why do I even want to stay up to watch this dumpster fire? But then I might miss something. But then you gotta get up early to go to work on Monday morning, and you're just in a bad mood until you get your 4 wellness in your coffee. Turn the day around a little bit, Yeah. Give a thumbs up, and off we go. We go. But I don't know. We'll see. Usually it's not too bad. People understand. Like my one coworker, whenever I go into the office, if I'm going to the office that day after a Sunday night or Monday night football game, and it's a brutal loss, he's just like, I won't even bring it up, Jake. I won't even bring it up. And I was like, yep, don't rip off the Band-Aid. It's already torn off. It's a tough scene, but we'll see. But I don't know. It's exciting times. We'll be looking forward to seeing how the season shakes out. But that's for sure. I don't know. Now that you got me all fired up here, Trent, talking about the Cowboys and the Red Sox, I feel like we got to go into the gas and break segment because I got something that I just want to get off my chest with this segment here. You can start it off. I think I've gone gas the first 2 weeks, but last week might have been the first time we did this. Yep. Never mind. This is a brand new segment as of last week, but I got something. I'm going full breaks on this.
because I've experienced it way too much this stinking week and last week. It's the two-step authentication or verification or whatever that all these companies and apps and accounts make you do nowadays. Oh, it drives me nuts. Like, you type in your password, and for some reason that isn't sufficient enough. So they send you another password, either through your email or text. Then you got to type that in. Oh, it's just an absolute mess. So today, for example, I went in there and I did the whole two-step verification thing, right? It was on some app I had to, I was using, I don't even know if it was my banking app or I forget what it was. But anyhow, I was done with it. I exited out of it. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I need to get something else back in it real quick. I forgot. I need to get one more thing off of it. I had to go back and do it all over again, even though I was just in literally 25 seconds ago. That is beyond irritating to me. Like, that just drives me up a wall that we have to do it. I get it. It's security purposes, whatever. But I was literally just in that website 15, 20 seconds before that. And they're like, oh, you got to do this all over again.
Yeah,
Between that and changing passwords, those two are just, I'm at my wit's end with it. I'm going, I'm slamming on the brakes, pulling the e-brake on them two things there. They just drive me up a wall.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get you on a bender there, Kinzer, but I'm full agreement there, because my work phone, I have to change the password so often, and it stores like your last 6 or 10 passwords, and you can't reuse those. I have so many passwords that I forget, and you can't just use Face ID for a work phone. They make you put in the password, and it can't be a number passcode. It has to be words. My phone has to be words, numbers, and a special character.
Oh, man, that's brutal.
And it has to be at least 8 or 10 characters long. And I'm like, there's nothing important in my work phone. There's pictures of water. That's about all there is. So, but yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Well, and it's so annoying too, because like, for example, this isn't actually my password, but let's just say this is my password. Cowboys1! And they tell me I got to change my password. I can't make it Cowboys2! Or even question mark. Like, they're like, oh, you got to change something else. So then I'm like, all right, Cleveland Browns 42-31! And they're like, oh, they're both football teams. You can't use that, or something stupid like that. It just drives me nuts. If I want a password, let me make my password and get rid of the two-step verification or authentication or whatever it is. And security questions too, they can go pound sand, all that stuff. It makes sense why they have it, but it just drives me nuts as the user.
Your next password should just be like Eagles 2025 or something, Jake.
Well, then they won't believe it'll be me.
That's true.
They'll say, are you sure this is Jake Kinzer?
Denied.
Then I'll get security questions. Because it'll question my identity.
Yep, and they'll say, what is your favorite football team? And you're going to put in Cowboys, and then they're going to say, nope, locked out. You're done.
Yeah. I'm all breaks on that crazy stuff. The verification, passwords, security questions, all that stuff. I'm done with it. Everyone requires it. It's just, I'm so sick of it.
You're not going to sleep tonight now thinking about your passwords.
No.
I hope you get it tomorrow. You get to log in and they ask you for the password change. That'd just be the cherry on the top.
If I get that tomorrow, after we talked about this, and I just full board jinx myself, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know. I'm going to use a random password generator or something. We'll figure something out.
All right, so for mine, I think I'm going to go full-blown gas this week. Mix it up a little bit. I'm going and the ice-cold underside of a pillow. I get in bed. First thing I do, I flip my pillow to the underside, so I'm laying on it. Freezing. I can't sleep on a hot pillow. And then halfway through the night, I wake up, flip the pillow over, because our vent blows our AC right up the back of the bed, so the underside of the pillow gets extra, extra cold. But it doesn't just go for a pillow. If I could have an ice-cold bed, I'm in. My wife, we have this, mattress pad warmer thing that she uses in the wintertime. You, hit a button, and it, heats up the bed for you. That's breaks for me. But a nice cold bed, oh, gas all the way.
Oh yeah.
I love sleeping cold.
Well, I tell you what, I agree with you on that. And remember the one time, it was during the winter time whenever you guys' heating system was acting funky that time, and you're like, hey, bring like sweatpants and everything. It was like 50s that night, and I'm telling you, I don't think I've slept as good as I have that night in a long time.
Yep. And that's what, like, I think when we were down in Virginia golfing, we had our AC set to, what, 62 or something?
Yeah.
We got that thing set as low as it could go. Yeah, anytime I go in a hotel, I set that thing as low as it can go. That's for sure.
Love it. I wanted to try. Did you see those beds? I don't think it's Tempur-Pedic. I forget who has it. Where they like you can climate control your mattress. Did you ever try one of them?
No, but I have it. I feel like it's a scam. I've seen it before, but I don't think that company knows the body heat that I have at nighttime. Like, I don't mean to be gross, but like we have a mattress topper cooling gel pad thing that's like a mattress protector as well. There's like an outline of my body from sweat. And that's all times of the year. It can be 50 degrees in my house and I will wake up and I am soaked. I don't know what my body does. I like detox every night. I'm not sure, but I sleep so hot and my body lets me know because I wake up. It's like I wake up from a nightmare and I'm in cold sweats, but I'll wake up just normal as can be, no dreams, no nightmares, and I'm drenched. It's gross, but
man, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think I'd have to give one of those mattresses a try, but I have a feeling it can't do enough cooling to solve my issue.
Well, let's go somewhere. I'm curious now. I want to just like test one of them.
Yeah.
Like obviously it won't be like true conditions with like the blankets and all that stuff where you sleep in and stuff. But like I want to just see what they're all about. See what the hype is.
Yeah, that's what we'll have to throw up an Instagram story when you're testing out mattresses in a mattress firm. We'll have to get you the California King so your feet don't hang off the edge of the bed.
Oh, I mean, you witnessed it at the motel. Like, whenever I get into a hotel bed, like, okay, for those of you that don't know me, I'm like 6'4", 6'5"-ish, somewhere around that area. Literally, 9 times out of 10 when I go to a hotel, motel, or anything, I've only been in one, and I think that was in North Carolina, where I didn't have to do this, and it was incredible. I like just untuck the whole bottom. Like I'll rip the sheet, the blanket, everything that's tucked into the bottom, because otherwise, like I gotta sleep diagonally. Like, you know, I'm cutting the sandwich into triangles with how I'm sleeping because it's just a mess. So it's yeah, that might be a break someday. That might be a break someday on the show here, but yeah, it's tough. But
all right, we're gonna go into the draft we're gonna do this week.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody what we're doing here this week, Trent?
All right, so similar to a new segment we did last week where we did the 4-man scramble draft with the caddy. So it's a blind draft. So we're gonna flip a coin, or we're gonna have Siri flip a coin, and whoever wins the coin toss gets to pick first. And we're doing travel destinations for this week. It can be anywhere across the country. It can be just it can be a country, it can be a specific place. So if, Jake picks, I don't know, Disney World, and I had Disney World on my list, I can't use it because he picked it. Once someone picks it, it's off the table. So you want me to flip a coin? You want to flip a coin?
You flipped it last week. I'll try it this week.
All right.
I'll let you pick.
All right. I'm going to call heads.
Flip a coin.
Tails.
Ooh. See, last week I think I picked heads. And I said heads always wins, and it just didn't happen. It wasn't
never
for it.
fails, man.
All right. Well, I'm going to start hot out the gates with I'm going to pick New Zealand. I've had some friends that have gone there. I've had my college golf coach went there. I took a turf class, and he went there. Like I said, I've had friends that gone there. Just love the atmosphere. Obviously they have some cool golf courses, but great people, great atmosphere. That's where I'm going with number one.
That was on my list, so there's one I got to cross off. For my number one, I'm going similar vibe to that. I'm going Australia.
Oh, okay. All right.
I love wildlife, and I feel like that, the wildlife you see there and just the landscape would be right up my alley. And their accents, I love it. Like you can't be mad when you hear an Australian accent,
True. That's a good one. That was on my list as well. So I'm going to go with the number 2 pick. I'm going to go with Italy. So I've wanted to go there, just experience a different culture like that, to experience the food. I like watching that Anthony Bourdain, like No Reservations, and like some trips that he's made over there. Like just the culture, the family aspect over there, the food, the scenery. Like I just want to go. There's a lot of history, a lot of cool stuff there. So I'm going Italy for number 2.
All right, so for my number 2, I'm going to go Switzerland. I forgot to mention about I love to ski as well. It's also one of my hobbies, so I feel like going to Switzerland and skiing. And I love mountains. I'd much rather go hike and look at mountains than be sitting on a beach. So the mountains in Switzerland, I've heard, are unreal. So I'm locking in Switzerland.
Good pick. Number 3. I'm staying in the States. Number 3, I'm going to go with Texas. Everyone knows my love and fascination with the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't know, there's a lot of history in Texas. Like, I'd love to go to Austin, see like Austin city limits, like the music type stuff going on there. Just a lot of really neat history, good food. Just kind of the lifestyle's a little different down there. So I'm going Texas.
All right. Well, with that, I am going to lock in Yellowstone National Park for my number 3. I love out west, the mountains, the wildlife. That's like the perfect mix of the two. Never been to Wyoming, so that would be, another place to see and check off the list. So, Yellowstone.
Sweet. That's a good pick. It's a top tier pick there. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was definitely on the list there. I feel like for my number 4, I am going to go with Hawaii. So, I've never been to the beach a whole lot, but I would just, one, love to go to Hawaii, just to experience the culture there. Secondly, to be on like the beaches and stuff. And I feel like Hawaii just kind of fits my personality and vibe a little bit. Just, it seems like a pretty neat place. So I'm going Hawaii there on number 4.
It's a good pick. It wasn't on my list. I mean, it'd be cool to go. I had the opportunity to go when I was in college, but I decided against it. Because we were working at the golf course, so I didn't want to take a 6-week trip to Hawaii. But no, that'd be cool. I'm stuck between 2 for my 4th pick. I'm gonna go to Denali National Park in Alaska.
Ooh.
Alaska has been one of the places I definitely want to see before I die. And Denali National Park is another one that just looks, gorgeous.
I love it. Yeah, and like just Alaska in general, I think would be just kind of a cool place to go. Like, I feel like that's got to be on everybody's bucket list. Man, that is so tough. I'm looking up something here quick because now I'm curious. Yeah. All right. So this is on my last pick. So I'm going number 5 here. I'm going with the Redwood National Park in California. So I just love the pictures of the massive, redwood trees. I I think it's just a really neat place. I feel like California in general is just kind of wild, a little different than everywhere else in the country. But I'd mostly like to go because of the national park there, that Redwood National Park. It's just, I mean, the pictures there are iconic. National Geographic's done so much there. So I'm going to go with Redwood National Park.
That's a good pick. I've been to Southern California. I've always wanted to go to Northern California, which I believe that's where that is, because it's like a night and day difference, North and South California. So for my fifth and final pick, I'm going Ireland.
They were on the list.
Yeah, I think, the sightseeing, the only thing I wouldn't like is the rainy, drowsy weather that they get a lot of the year, kind of like the UK. But, a few rounds of golf, I think would definitely make up for the crappy weather.
Yeah. There's a lot of history over there too, like historic golf courses and just some cool stuff over there.
Yep, for sure.
Good deal. Well, yeah, no, I think that sums up the pretty good travel destinations there. So choices here, just to kind of recap. So for myself, I had number 1 New Zealand, 2 Italy, 3 Texas, 4 Hawaii, and 5 Redwood National Park. Trent got you number 1 Australia, 2 Switzerland, 3 Yellowstone National Park, 4 Denali National Park in Alaska, and number 5 Ireland.
That's right.
So there's just some solid choices there. So obviously that's going to be on the poll here this coming week. So be sure to submit your vote in there, see what you think there. The first poll, we appreciate everyone participating in that. Week 1 poll, I got Trent just by a couple votes, not by much. And one listener even sent us a DM on Instagram that said, I'm always on Jake's side because I don't know golf, but I trust your judgment too, Trent. Sorry. So you have some fan support, but
yeah, I need to build the trust that people have in me once they get to know me here. We'll get you back here sometime. But if there's any of these places that we said about that you've been to, let us know. Tell if it was gas or brakes. Some places, people say about they always want to go. Other people have been there and they're like it's actually very much overrated. Or there's other places that are completely underrated. So let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, in the meantime, don't forget to vote on this poll. Thanks for tuning in on another episode of the Jake Break. This is episode 3, and I guess before we close out, anything else you want to add to the folks back home, Trent?
What did you say? I'm sorry. I was reading a message from my wife. I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going into labor. So go ahead and repeat the question. We're all good. She's not going into labor. We're all good there.
Not yet. That's good.
Not yet. Yeah.
So anything else you want to add as we close out this awesome episode of the Jake Break here?
I don't think so. Have a good week. Hopefully this next week is full of sunshine and less rain because I'm really getting tired of this rain. But other than that, have a fantastic week.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Mr. Trent. This ends another episode of the Jake Break. Be sure to tune in and listen. Like we said earlier, it drops every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to reach out to us. Let us know what you like about the show so far, what you want changed, and how we can provide a better listening experience for all you fantastic listeners out there. Thanks. We'll see you later.